How's it going, guys? Welcome back. Today is Saturday for me, but it's Friday for you guys in America. This is a little bit of it's pretty similar, but a little bit of a different video because as you can see on the screen, we are in the middle of waiting for our first ever payout of my life. I'm gonna go over the trade and stuff, but first I want to just kind of talk a little bit about how it feels and just kind of document this moment for myself. I mean, the real moment was last night for me, but this is a pretty crazy feeling. I started my journey overall last September, and like during that month, it was like probably mid-month that I started. I didn't know about ICT at the time. I was trying out like momentum trading with just like normal stocks, like trading news kind of on Webull. I did that for a couple months and I really just did not really like it. I mean, I saw maybe like a couple bucks, but it's one of those things where like I just didn't see how it could be sustainable, and like it was kind of a pain in the ass, like staying up for news like at the most random times, or just like having to research all this random shit about companies, and it felt too much like guessing, or just maybe it wasn't up my alley. I know people find a lot of success doing that type of stuff, but it wasn't really for me. And then I stumbled across ICT probably probably like late October or maybe mid-October. I'm not sure. September, October. Yeah, it was probably like late October or so. But I started studying. Of course, I wasn't like trading evals or anything at that time. I was purely just like studying. And to be quite honest, I haven't even watched all of ICT's videos. I watched a good handful of them for sure, but then I kind of like wanted to start getting hands-on experience because I learned better that way personally. So I got TradingView, a subscription to TradingView, and I just started trying shit out. And I remember like some of my first trades were probably the worst things that you could have ever taken, yet I would somehow win them and I would think, oh, this shit's easy or whatever. You know, everybody goes through that where they like take a couple wins, and they're on paper trades, so you're trading like what, 15 contracts because you don't even know like the true value of one contract, so you're just like extremely over leveraging and you don't even know what you're doing. So I thought, you know, at the end of the week, like I would maybe have like, 10 grand that I made, or 15K that I made in a week, and I'd be like, oh, this is it, and just thinking back, like it's so crazy how far I've come doing this all independently on my own. Like and it's weird how fast it changes too. Like that's the craziest thing. Like last week I passed an eval account on TopStep, and this is the same XFA that came from that eval. I passed it on Monday, and it's just crazy to me how fast you can go from like being technically an unprofitable trader, with like bad habits, bad tendencies, like you're not being the most consistent that you know you can be, to being a little bit more wise and patient and disciplined, and like coming to a point where should I enlarge this? Sorry, I'll just enlarge it for now. Coming to a point where you start tracking those bad habits and cutting them off. And even now, like, and I don't want to be all dramatic and shit, because I really, at the end of the day, $1,000 is pretty much nothing. I mean, it's a really decent sized first payout for me personally. I'm happy with it. Did I want a little bit more? Yeah, 1,500, but 1,100 is not. It's really not that bad. And basically, my point is, what I'm saying right now is, you can come so far and not realize like how much genuine progress you're making. Like, even though I still, to this day, like, even though I have a payout on the way, even though I'm technically profitable, I'm a profitable trader on this account. I had, I think, over a 75% win rate, which got me to this payout. And despite all that stuff, like, I still feel, I don't want to say like undeserving, but I'm trying to think of the right way to explain it. I feel honestly a little bit lucky. I feel lucky, and I know that I have so much that I can refine and take this even further, which is both good and both kind of daunting. Like, at any stage during the journey, whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's trading, maybe you're more into like the business side of things, like you own a business, you're an entrepreneur. Let's just say you're an entrepreneur in general, like you just want to make it, whatever that journey is, you might not realize truly how much you've grown for so long, like right now, even just looking back 2 weeks, even just 2 weeks or 3 weeks, 3 weeks ago, I was a completely different trader than I am right now. And it's not that I'm even that much better of a trader. It's literally just like these really, really tight, like minimal changes and slight margins that I've adjusted. And it's like that the whole journey. Like, you start off and you don't know shit. Then like maybe you think you know enough and you start buying evals, like, which for me was probably like maybe like 8 months ago. And then it's then from there, you realize, oh shit, like, I don't know what I'm doing. And you go back to studying, and you kind of just go through all these phases kind of repeatedly. Like, you know nothing, you think you know nothing, you study, then you think you know something, and you try to put that something into work or into action and like try to get results from it. And then you realize, oh, I don't know enough, or I don't have enough experience. So then you kind of like reset, and then you just kind of go through that over and over and over. Like, for me recently, let's just say this, just last month alone, October was weird for me. I blew multiple express accounts, or not express, multiple evaluations, just because I think I was trying to rush myself to this point, rush everything and rush getting payouts as soon as I can, instead of focusing on what matters. And like, it's interesting. I can somewhat also apply this ideology to other aspects of my life, and that ideology being, it's so interesting how kind of like, even if you have a goal in mind, or you're chasing something that may be a little bit out of reach, or super far out of reach right now, or maybe it's close, if you chase it super hard, you almost feel like it's kind of gaining more distance on you than you might be gaining on it. And I think chasing something is a little bit different than working towards something, if that makes sense. Like I don't know how to fucking say any of this shit. This is all off the dome, so but it's just like, you know what I mean? Like if you want a girlfriend and you go chasing love, like constantly you're just chasing girls, chasing love, whatever it might be, and you get in a relationship with someone and you, like, maybe you guys do love each other, you're missing out on, like, maybe you guys love each other, but what if there's other things that could make the love more fulfilling, or like make it safer, or make you feel like you're closer to that person than if you were just to, like, I don't know, be attracted to them and be with them, you know? Like maybe if you just focused on yourself and made yourself 1% better each day, closer to, you know, your ideal persona of who you want to become, if you just focus on that, like, I guarantee you the odds of someone coming into your life that is actually worth your time and worth your affection is larger than if you just go chasing love. And the same thing applies here, I think. You know, for me, I've been chasing the dollar sign for so long. That's why I got into this. That's why everybody gets into trading. They're like, oh, I want to make a shit ton of money. I want to make it fast, and I want to travel the world. I want to buy sick ass cars. I want to retire my parents, buy, you know, sick clothes. We all have similar ideas and goals when it comes to at least trading, but honestly, probably a lot of stuff. Like, all entrepreneurs are seeking generally the same thing, which is freedom and the ability to support the people that they care about and support themselves. And yeah, I mean, back to the main point. It's just crazy how much I can, like, just sit here and kind of soak in the fact that I now can see that I've made progress, you know? Like, a lot of times, a big problem for me, especially, is, like, comparing myself to other people. Comparing myself to, like, other traders, maybe even, like, people who don't really know what they're doing, but they, like, had money, so they bought into a mentorship and they just copy trade their mentor or some shit like that, or like they're just getting signals or whatever you want to call it. Like, to each their own. I mean, there's definitely bonuses to doing that other than just probably getting payouts really quick. I'm not dissing that idea, but like, I would just compare myself to that stuff all the time, thinking, like, you know, these people that I don't even know and are probably, objectively speaking, probably a little bit less wise, I'd like to say. Like, some of these people, you just look at them and you're like, bro, like, this guy just made 15K in a month, and I'm stuck here on, you know, month 12, blowing another eval. And that stuff just gets to your head. And what I'm trying to say is, do not let that happen to you. Like, I cannot even begin to explain how much time and, honestly, despair I've ingested at my own, like, it's been my own fault, just, like, comparing myself to other people. You know, I'm doing all this shit. I learned all this shit off of YouTube, and practice, trial and error. Trial and error. I've woken up every single fucking morning that the market has been open at 6, because I'm on Pacific time. I wake up at 6, I take a shower, whatever, and do my pre-market analysis, and I'm up for the rest of the day thinking about it. And I've done that every single trading day, give or take maybe like one or two, like maybe I was sick or something, give or take one or two. And I've been doing that for a year, over a year. And that is just like, you don't really think about it, but now I'm thinking about it, and it's like, I'm really committed to this shit, and I really learned this shit, and I put the time in, I've put the effort in, and I deserve to be where I'm at right now. And honestly, I deserve to have taken this long. I deserve to, have lessons in the future from now. Like, there's so many, it's just crazy. I don't really know what I'm saying. But there's just like so many scattered different like variants and emotions in my brain that I've been thinking about for so long. And I like, it's like those personal thoughts that you can't really like talk about, because you can't explain like that feeling, or that like that burning fire under you that you have, to other people. Because maybe even if they do have that burning fire, what if it's a little bit different from yours, or what if it hasn't sparked up yet, and they just think you're crazy, or like, I don't know. But for me, it's like, I don't know, this is just a really weird experience for me. Like, $1,150 is not like end game type of money. Like, this is not crazy. This is less than minimum wage in a month. But the work that I've put in to be able to kind of just print this money from nothing is crazy. And the scalability and the potential that this shit has is just, it's absurd. Like, think of, like, right now, my goal is $1,500 twice a month from one account right now. I have now achieved the first of 2 payouts this month that I'm going for. This one, it wasn't $1,500, right? But it was still relatively close. $350 less than $1,500. Not that bad. Okay, I would take it. At a minimum, I want to get at least $2,000 a month, but my goal is $3,000 right now. Now, let's say I continue, with my good habits, my discipline, my good psychology. Like, this shit is just getting stronger and better each day, little by little. And let's say I get another payout. Let's say it's $1,500 this time. Right? Actually, for the sake of the example, let's not even say that I get a full payout. Let's say I do like another $1,100. So we're at $2,200 for the month of November, right? When I was working minimum wage before coming to Japan, I worked there for like 2.5 months or so. I was working at Nike, and I was making, I think, $17-ish an hour. I was working 8 hours a day. So basically, let's see, I was working usually 4 or 5 days a week, which would be around like, I guess it would be same as trading days, huh? 21 days a month. So I spent, give or take, 40, 50 days working that job. And in each month, I would only make, like, bring home money would probably be at most, I don't even think I broke $2,000 a month, which is crazy. I spent all that time working at a company, like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, or 4 days a week, whatever, all that time. That's so many hours a month. And I got less than I could get from this, spending 2 to 3 hours, maybe max a day, looking at fucking candlesticks on a chart and taking a trade that lasts maybe at most 10, 15 minutes. And then at the end of every 2 weeks, I can pull out more money than I was making bi-weekly at Nike, like a legitimate fucking job. spending all that time. And it's not even really like what my wage was that is so crazy. It's all that time that I used making so little money that, can become like time for you to use and expand your knowledge, expand your fitness, like just grow as a person. All that time, like if I took those 3 months, 8 hours a day, 50 days out of those 3 months, and I put it into something, those are so many hours that I could have been more developed at this point had I put those hours into something else than working in my minimum wage job. Does that make sense? And that's what this whole thing is about. It's like I made $1,150 from trading, spending maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours a day on this. Recently, probably a little bit less because we had bank holiday on Tuesday and Monday was no news. And so I only traded 3 days this week. It's just crazy. And I know I'm yapping and just like probably talking your ass off. But it's almost unfathomable to me. Like, I'm happy. But at the same time, I'm also like, huh? Like, is this real? Or like, it just doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like it's reality because like our whole life we've been told and taught, and it's just been engraved into our head that like you have to do genuine hard work to, get where you want to be. And like that's true, but at the same time, there are different, smarter, more efficient ways to work hard. And one of those, which for me has been trading. And it's just crazy. Back to what I was saying though, the whole point I got into this was I made $1,150 from 2 weeks, probably a week and a half of trading. Last Monday, I didn't trade on this account because that was the day I passed. So I had 4 trading days last week, and one of those days was a loss, and another one of them was break even. So I had 2 winning days last week. This week I didn't trade 2 days, and then I had 3 winning days in a row. So altogether, I've traded 2 weeks in total, but I have 5 winning days. And out of those 5 days, let's just say I spent an hour and a half on each day. So 2 days would be 3 hours. So I spent 7.5 hours between those 5 days that I won trades. And from those 5 winning days, I just paid myself $1,000 and $1,130 in less than an 8-hour shift. Like, that's crazy. You cannot say that that's not crazy. And another thing is this shit is so scalable. I made that much in the last 2 weeks. It wasn't my goal even, but let's just say I make 1,000 every 2 weeks on one account that still replaces minimum wage job for me. Then add in another account. Instantly, even at a minimum payout of $1,000 bi-weekly, that doubles it to $4K a month. Add another account. You're trading 3 express fundeds now. That doubles it again. It adds another $2,000 a month. $6,000 a month. Even with these like super, super small payouts, if you scale and stay consistent, you can reach 10K months like that. And that's what we're here for. That's the goal. But I've probably talked your guys' heads off enough. These are just like thoughts that I've been letting boil up in my brain for a long time. And it's crazy that now I can flush them out. in what's now my reality. And I hope, like I said, I'm not the greatest trader ever. If anything, I have so much work to do. And I'm fully cognizant of that, and I know what I need to work on. I know those things. I have data on myself. I review everything. Okay, I know what I need to work on. There's so much room for improvement. This is by no means anywhere close to where I want to be monthly, or even, let's say, bi-weekly. But this is just one of those milestones for me that is just crazy. But anyways, enough talking your guys' heads off. Let's get into the trade that I took to enable me to secure this $1,100, $150 payout on Top Step. Okay, here we go. This was the trade right here. We had 1 minute IFEG entry right here. We had an SMT at this high, I think it was, which counts all of this as a liquidity sweep. Boom. I think we were bouncing out of a 3 minute here as well. Yeah, because there was SMT, so ES was bouncing out of this 3 minute, so we don't need NQ to be tapping into that yet at the same time because of the SMT. And this was just super high momentum. Like, despite this being pre-market, this was a 14-point candle. And yeah, I hopped out on my phone just to check out pre-market. I wasn't even planning on taking a trade. And I probably got in around, I think I got in, well, I got in for 15 points because I made $159. So I probably got in around this area here, right here. So really the trade for me was like right here. Super small, but it was all I needed. And it was the same play that I would have taken. Like, if this was normal circumstances, and like, let's just say this was after market open, whatever, let's say it was 10:05 and we waked up, had all this shit, right? This A+ setup, 100% would have taken this. So that's why I was confident kind of just like jumping in here. I did wait for like a little bit of a retracement. Like, obviously this candle close was up here. But like, I don't know, once you get to a certain point, like seeing candles so often every single day, you can kind of like, especially like when a play like this is still playing out, you can kind of just like get in. Not something to be super proud of all the time, but this was one of those like bizarre circumstances where I was okay with just kind of like entering here because this was a super huge draw on liquidity and we were delivering to it. Finally delivering to it. So this was my draw of liquidity for the day coming into Friday. So I had no issues at all taking the trade that I took. Like, even though I didn't catch the whole move, I didn't need it. So yeah, that was my trade. That trade allowed us to secure this payout. It was our fifth winning day. Crazy stuff. And yeah, this is on NQ because I was gonna buy another eval, so I'm looking forward to passing another eval once that payout comes through. I'll probably risk heavy on the eval now. Actually, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Well, because now I have a buffer, right? I have this buffer, so I don't need to target 3K a week anymore to get a $1,500 payout. I only need to make $1,500 or a little bit more than $1,500 a week to, because even if I make $1,000, I can still request $1,000. because I'll still have, because I want to keep this account at a minimum of like $1,100 ish, just to be safe. But yeah, so my target next week will be probably 2,500 at least. We'll see if we can get that done. If we can get that done, yeah, I mean, I still have 2 weeks left of November, so I'll target for $1,500 next week, and then target for $1,500 again the last week of November, which will put me at let's just say I make 2,500. Actually, let's just say I make $3,000, or have $3,000 total by the end of these 2 weeks. So I make $2,000 in the next 2 weeks. I'll be able to pay myself out $1,500, and I'll still have a larger buffer than I have right now, which would put us at $2,650 paid out for the month of November. Oh, crazy. Mind-blowing shit right here. I'm just kind of processing everything for myself, so apologies for the extremely long video. I know that it's probably annoying, but this was a play that I marked out that I was gonna take, but I was processing my payout and like putting in my W-9 information and stuff. I put this here because I was like, oh, we just created this. Like at that point, we had just swept this when I put this here, and then when I came back, it was already like right here, and I was like, damn, that would have been a really nice play to just take before processing the payout. But yeah, we missed that one, unfortunately, but it was super A+. We swept the low that we created while sweeping the higher time frame low, closer to discount of this or equilibrium of this 4 hour or 1 hour big fair value gap, and we had super nice displacement with an order block. Always a nice little bonus. Always a nice little bonus right here to have an order block. Perfect close. And yeah, would have been a super nice A+ trade. Just target these bodies right here. Yeah, and this was market open. Crazy stuff. I honestly haven't even really looked at what happened. I've been so busy just like thinking about all this shit. So, but anyways, this video is probably hella long, but at this point I don't want to waste any more of your guys' time. Like I said, this is pending still. We do have the funding approved. The funds have been removed from the account, as you can see. Risk has been approved. Now we just need a compliance to be approved, and then the funding will be sent. Probably, since it's the weekend now, probably not till Monday or Tuesday, I'm assuming, but yeah, exciting stuff. And again, this is just the beginning. It's just nice to kind of like speak things into the world and speak my experience up until this point. Like maybe for some of you that might still be watching, I hope this can be inspiring or relatable, because, and it sounds corny because it's kind of what every person says that's like super giga successful, but honestly, you just have to believe in yourself. And even when you don't believe in yourself, don't stop putting in the work. Stay diligent. There's going to be probably more time than not where you don't feel confident in yourself and you're like, why the fuck am I doing this? I felt that way. I still feel that way, and I'm going to feel that way in the future. But I'm telling you right now, do not fucking stop. Keep going, and you will reach milestones like this. Even though they're small in the grand scheme of things, you will reach this point, and you will feel better about yourself, and you will become more and more refined as you go, as you learn, which will then allow you to live the life that you want. Honest to God, it's the truth. Be delusional. Don't fucking stop. Put in the work every day, even if it hurts, even if you're sad, even if you're upset at yourself. All the more reason to work harder. Honestly. So, yep, we are nowhere near our goals, but this is an amazing spot to be, and I'm grateful to myself, and honestly, I'm grateful to you guys for supporting me. and especially if you made it all the way through this video so far. So, but yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here, guys. Of course, I will let you know next week when the payout, if it hopefully gets approved. I don't see why it wouldn't though. But yeah, alrighty, guys. Thanks again. Sorry this video is so long and I yapped so much, but I'm just excited. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Take care. Have a good weekend. And I think that's all I got. So see you later, guys. Peace out. Bye bye.